thing that's quite remarkable, and I get into it now, but all the seats are basically filled now. We had the last two in Cavan. I was waiting before I made this video, but pretty much Fianna Fáil has won the election. Pretty much Fianna Fáil has won away with it more than Fine Gael. Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil pretty much won it together because they're basically one and the same. But pretty much Fianna Fáil has the most seats, and Micheál Martin will be the Taoiseach. If we like it or not, he's going to be the Taoiseach. And it's going to be Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael. If we like it or not, it's going to be that, and maybe a few independents and whatever. But it's pretty much the two biggest parties, Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael. Pretty much Fianna Fáil, Micheál Martin's going to be the Taoiseach. The first Taoiseach, and if it's a voting Taoiseach, whatever the case may be. But it's quite remarkable, because if you think about it, before the election they had 38, so they literally just doubled the seats, pretty much. They had 38 before in 2020, now they have 48, so it's pretty good. Especially because if you remember last year, we often heard the stories of Fianna Fáil councillors questioning Micheál Martin, TDs questioning them. You've seen in the polls even last year, Fianna Fáil support going into the drain. And many articles saying that people were leaving Fianna Fáil in the droves. Members were questioning Micheál Martin and the decision, the way the party was going. And that pretty much came to nothing, because nothing really happened. The only thing that really happened, they lost maybe a few seats. Anne Rabbitte lost their seat. Stephen Donnelly lost his seat. And that was pretty much it. A few maybe other Fianna Fáil TDs, but that was about it. That's all they suffered pretty much. But they gained more seats than they lost pretty much. And that's the thing. It's quite insane to think about, especially when you see the articles here. And the one thing that saved, I think, Fianna Fáil, and I think this was the one thing, and many people did mention it, and even when I was listening to the debates before the election, and particularly Micheál Martin said it, Simon Howard said it too, but Micheál Martin said it more, it's about keeping stability. If we elect Sinn Féin, for example, we elect Labour Party or some other government, the country might be unstable, and particularly he was saying about Donald Trump, if they put tariffs on Ireland, obviously I don't think that's going to happen as bad as they think it is. Maybe it will happen to a certain extent, but not as bad. But pretty much the one word he used is stability. And a lot that resonated with, I think, a lot of people, particularly elderly people. But the majority of people who voted Fianna Fáil Fine Gael were elderly people, because the majority of people over in their 50s and in their 60s, the majority might have voted Fianna Fáil number one or Fine Gael number two, and then give Fianna Fáil the number two, or give Fine Gael the number two. So pretty much the older people really got them in. It wasn't the young folk that got them in. No, there was not many young people at all voted for them. It was more Sinn Féin, the young people voted for the older people. And obviously the elderly majority of people in this state are elderly. The majority of people in Cavan are elderly citizens too. The majority of the population of this country is in their 60s, etc. When over time, and they're an aging population. Because the majority of young people have left and not to return. And pretty much, unfortunately, this is really what is going to exaggerate the exponential. In the next few months, we're going to see more than ever leaving the state, because it's pretty much, unfortunately, the same old. If I didn't say it before, it's pretty much the same old. Nothing's going to change. The only reason why, and again, they voted for Fianna Fáil, and particularly the older people, as we seen the OT interview people outside polling stations, they said their grandfather voted Fianna Fáil, their father voted Fianna Fáil, they voted it since they were a child, Fianna Fáil. They're going to vote Fianna Fáil now. They're going to vote until they drop dead. And that's pretty much the same with Fine Gael. It's the old people that never change their votes, and that's really the thing. Regardless if Micheál Martin shot somebody in the street, they would still vote Fianna Fáil, and that's the thing. And there's never going to be any change if you have that kind of attitude, because regardless what Fianna Fáil do, still people like that would vote for them. More young people are more likely to vote for whoever they think is the best. Older people are not just going to vote the way they always did, pretty much. But not even that, the old age pension, they talked about increasing the old age pension. And that's what got the old folk too, because they talked about increasing the old age pension to with another every year, 12 euro a year, I think it was, for the next 5 years. So that's how they got it, really, pretty much. That's pretty much. But they lost, the two parties that get the Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael have lost a lot of support compared to where they were in the 70s. Take for example, they've lost a lot. Together, the two parties combined is only about 40%. Years ago, it was 80%. So it was literally 80% more, 40% more than what it is today. So you can see Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael supporters going, because obviously the old people, a lot of old people who were that style, they always vote Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael. A lot of them are not there, and there's the young generation now, and a lot of young people won't vote always the same way. We've seen this with Sinn Féin, because a lot of people jumped ship and voted the Labour Party and voted for other people. But yeah, it's been a good day for Fianna Fáil. But it's quite remarkable when you look back in the articles last year, particularly talking about Fianna Fáil support waning and etc. Disheartened us in Fianna Fáil. Even we heard councillors in Cavan questioning Micheál Martin and what the way the party was going, etc. It's quite remarkable. Generally, it's quite remarkable, and especially the poll again, OT showed that we're going to lose support, etc. It's quite remarkable to see. Now we'll go through all the other figures some other day, but I just wanted to talk briefly about Fianna Fáil. But I do think the one thing that saved them it's Micheál Martin talking about stability. If we elect any other government, a new party that wasn't in before, if Donald Trump puts tariffs on the country, it's going to make the country unstable. The economy might collapse. Yeah, kind of that, pretty much what he said the other night. And a lot of people probably resonated with it. It seemed to have resonated with a lot of people. But then again, obviously, the state pension, as I say, he had a huge part to play in that. Talking about increasing the state pension, older people love that. And we're going to vote for them anyway, pretty much. But the majority of the people that OT interviewed, etc., pretty much said they voted for Fianna Fáil since they were born, pretty much. Their father always voted for the grandfather. And pretty much when you see that, there's never going to be any change in this country. It's always going to be Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael. Pretty much one and the same. So unfortunately, again, just to say, nothing's going to change. Maybe small changes here and there. But pretty much the people that's going to benefit here are the bankers, the bondholders, the future funds, pretty much the usual crowd. Nobody else is going to benefit. Maybe a few elderly people will benefit. We see if they keep the promise. We don't know if Fianna Fáil couldn't trust them as far as you could throw them. But we see. Hopefully they do. Because again, I would hold them to account too, because it's no point promising people things if you're not going to give it to them. But still, I don't know. It's a weird time. But the Irish people have spoken to them. That's democracy. Thank you.